he officed with me over here on the square for a while. I got to know him well, and I got to know his family well, very well, as a matter of fact. And we carried on with the kids, which is one of my great qualities. The kids and the dog are those I always get along with, you know, the best. A story that I will remember forever happened with his youngest over here, Laura. And Laura was about 3 or 4 years old, and the Chrestmans were at the high school football game every game. And they sat down about row 6 on the right. Nancy's and my seats were up the row up there. And this particular evening, we were a little late getting there, and we started up the aisle. I looked down, and there was the judge and Melinda and Laura's beaming face, and I said, "Hello, Laura," and she said, "Daddy!" Well, Melinda handled it the best of all. I'll tell you that. Certainly. The judge is a man of great principle. And I came over here. I was sitting right there about where Kim is sitting one day, and there was this attorney, middle-aged attorney, and he was just a little bit ruffled, if you will. And the judge called his case, and he came forward to the bench, and I was right there, and the judge leaned forward and said, "Mr. So-and-so, are you ready to get this case off this docket? This is the 3rd time it's come up here, and we need to get this dealt with right here." And the attorney said, "Yes, sir, Judge." He said, "Now, Judge," and he held up this paper and said, "Now, if your secretary could just type these last 2 paragraphs on this sheet right here for me, then we can get this done." And I saw the judge bristle, and whoa, you know, he said, "Mr. So-and-so," he said, "you pick up your papers. You get out of my courtroom. Don't you ever come in here again until you are completely prepared to make your presentation and to properly represent your client. Bailiff, get him out of here." Well, I'm sitting right there, and I've got a report on a receivership that I'm supposed to give. And the judge got up and walked around his seat about twice, and then he sat back down and looked, and he looked down and said, "Mr. Deison, do you have something to come before this court?" I said, "Your Honor, I think I'll take these papers back over to my office. Make sure I'm ready for this." There's not a way for me to really follow all that Dan said, because it embodies a person that we love, has come nearly to be bigger than life, if you will. Don and I know the principles that undergird this man. I've studied the Bible with him. I've been through several situations in which ticklish decisions, important decisions had to be made. I've observed him met out justice. I've seen him be compassionate at the appropriate time, and probably one of the most interesting things to me is I've watched him be a man of vision as he made the judgments that he made here. It has put him in a place within me. It's put him in a place within this community here that we won't soon fill here. Judge, it's been an honor to know you. I have to say I was tempted to just ask Mr. Carney to come up and say that, you know, this might be your last chance to give a voir dire here. And so we'll get the judge up, and we'll say, if you'll just raise your right hand and say you promise to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. I better stop right there, but you know, I don't think we're going to get it out of it.
You don't have jurisdiction.
That's it. You, sir, will have served honorably. You have served with justice. You have served with compassion. You have served with vision, and it's been indeed a pleasure for me to spend my life knowing you and working with you in the way that we work together. And I say thank you for myself
presentation for the judge.
Thank you. I tried to dress the way you should be dressing from now on, Your Honor. So, mine's real short. I just wanted to come on behalf of the state of Texas and present you with a couple of things. First is a flag, Texas flag that was flown over the Capitol, the great state of Texas, in your honor. Your honor. There. And then we have a resolution that I won't take the time to read, but it says all wonderful, nice things about you and commemorates your career, both as an attorney and then as a public servant and then finally as a judge in this court. And what we're going to do is during the regular session, which we're going to session in January, and what we'll do is invite you down sometime during that, and we'll bring you that down on the House floor and formally have this read before the House and present you with it in a more appropriate manner at that time. But until then, this is a draft, although signed draft, version of that, and we'll have you down sometime between January and May at your convenience to present this formally before the open floor of the Texas House. So thank you for your service.
All right, I'm going to make a few remarks now. Melinda.
Remember who won the race.
Damn. I always got to bring it up. First of all, I want to look Judge Quisberry, Judge. See, I'm wishing. Mr. Carney, Mr. Deison. I've had some great experiences. Melinda, I want to thank you because all the text messages on race day, all the phone calls and him bickering about it. Thank you for putting up with it.
Watching on every
Thank
Sunday.
you. Judge, from the bottom of my heart, for all you've done personally for me, the guidance you've given me personally, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'll turn it over. I wasn't going to do that. I'll turn it over to the Honorable Don Chrestman.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dave. We used to be part of a deal that was called Tri-D. 3Ds, you can see where that comes from. They're good friends, and I think they were talking about somebody else up there on that board, apparently. I'm not sure I recognize all those remarks. I do recognize some that deal with hunting and fishing and the good times that we've had, but the rest of it, I'm proud to hear you say those things, but life is what it is, and it's time for me to move on. I want to say a few remarks of thanks to all of you for being here, obviously. You know, everybody comes to that point in their life where you wonder, what am I going to do next? And mine was reached about a year ago, and I started thinking seriously about whether or not I wanted to stay the full term, and I came to a conclusion at some point during there that my dad retired at the age of 68. I'm 68, and that was, by golly, a good time to retire, so here I go. And so here I am at this point. I've reached that, and it's a good decision. I know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, and so it's not like I'm going off into an area that's not planned and have some idea what I'm going to do. I want to thank Linda. I try not to get emotional from up here. But 42 years. If you read that program, you look on the back, you can see I met this good-looking girl back in 1968 when I got to Waco, and here she is. Raise your hands so they see you're here. She was beautiful and still is. And we have a lot of good plans, a lot of things that we're going to do. And it's time to get on with that. So that's part of the reason that I've made the decision. Shelley's not here. Shelley's our oldest daughter, and she was born while we were still living in South Texas, and is married to a cotton picking lawyer. She married an attorney from Dallas. He's practicing over there, and they have two great kids that live over there with them. Dean's here. Raise your hand. Dean and Sarah are here with Claire and Andrew. And Dean was born actually in Dallas while we were living over there. And then we have our one that came along and surprised us, who was born in 1982, and that's Laura, and she's here. Raise your hand. And Sarah, did you raise your hand so we know who you were? Claire, Andrew, come on, tell them who you are. Raise your hands. And Darren is Laura's fiance. They're going to be getting married in March, so we have a new family member. But this is my family. This is the center of my life. And you should be so blessed to be like me. You know, I want to thank a lot of people, but I'm not going to have time. I'm not going to be able to say all the names. But just the Parker County Bar, you know, we have a bar association here that's kind of unique. It's not, I wouldn't consider it to be a real formal bar. We don't have a lot of functions that are formal activities, but the people that make up that Parker County Bar are attorneys that practice law here in this court. And I think y'all need to know, those of you who aren't in here on a regular basis, but the ones that are in here, thank you for being here, because you made this job a whole lot easier. You treat the court with dignity and respect. You understand what we want out of you, and we as judges, I think I can speak for Judge Chrestman and the other county court law judges that are here. We respect you, and we respect what you do in these courts, and so we thank you very much for that. I want to thank Dan and Tom. By the way, Tom Vick is one of our former partners who was stranded in New York City with the snow up to his eyeballs, from what he called. He called and told me he couldn't get out of the hotel. And I'm telling you, we're up to his eyeballs at 6 foot 9. He called to tell me he couldn't make it. But also the history of the firm Dan was talking about, it's got a lot of history. And Roy, I still consider you to be one of the guys that I try to model my life after. So thank you. We got, of course, Gabe Vick passed, and he was one of our founding fathers of the firm, and we all miss him. And I thank him for a lot of things, but mostly his KISS theory. If you don't know what that is, it's keep it simple, stupid. And he had that theory of life, he had that theory of the law, and so I think that's probably where part of my common sense approach to the law is. You've got to always do that. I want to thank Kim Cherryholm. She was with me for most of those 16 years I was in that firm, and she was the worker bee who really did all the work, but I got a lot of credit for it, so thank you, Kim. When you look at this time we're having here today, it's because a lot of people were involved, but I know that Jolene, because I know her well enough, that she's stressed out. Her blood pressure is probably 180 or 120 even now. Probably thinks I'm talking too long, but that's okay. Jolene, thank you. Thank you for taking up the ball and running with this. And Glenna Wendell is my court reporter. God, y'all stand up. I'm gonna make you stand up. You keep standing, please. I'll say please this time. Glenna is court reporter things that they do for the judge as far as keeping him organized, being able to put together a charge. That's the document that the jury takes when they go back and they begin their deliberations. There's a lot of complicated things that go into that. There's a lot of other things that she does that are extremely important. I just can't thank her enough. Shelby Filming is assistant coordinator. Shelby has run the civil docket for the last several years. And so all of you are trying to get hearings, etc. She's the one that you always run into. And she's the one who has to deal with my constraints, has to deal with all those issues that where she's coming in and asking me if she can have a hearing on a certain day. And she's done a good job of adapting to that position because she came in here from the title company. She did work for a judge for a little while, but probably didn't do it near like what I do. So she's done a good job of protecting me and helping me in that way. I want to thank her. Leanne Haywood. Leanne, none of y'all are going to recognize her because the picture back there has her in her little uniform and gun on her hip. And today I want you to know that this is my bailiff. So if you misbehave in here, she may have to go get her gun. I don't think she's got it on. If she does, you can't see it right now. But she deals with juries, and I want you to know that jurors always are complimenting her on how she deals with them with respect and dignity and gives them good direction and takes good care of juries. And trust me, as attorneys and as a judge, they've got to have that. They've got to feel comfortable where they are. Y'all can have a seat. Thank you. One other that I want to bring up who was with me when I first got here, who taught me as from being a baby judge to get started and get my trainer wheels off. That's Mariana McFerrin. Mariana, stand up. You're going to have to stand up. Come on. Mariana took me from the point that I walked in the door and had to walk through that door and come in here and meet a group of people that was just big. It was all lawyers and defendants. I mean, it was like, whoa, what am I doing here? And she helped get me started and helped get me going on that. Thank you so much for that, Mariana. There's some other folks that I'm going to name quickly. I'm going to leave out some names I know. Larry Fowler, done a heck of a job, sheriff, but as law enforcement in general, he has the responsibility for security in this place. And what y'all don't know is he's done a great job of really making this a safer place. And you have no idea what can and does go on in here from time to time. I just thank you for that. Charlie Martin, Rita, is over here, I see that, Ray Wright. These people lay it on the line for us as judges and keep us safe in a place that could become dangerous and has a few times. Larry Abel, I see in the back, he was here before Leanne, and he used to be the bailiff here. I want to thank you. I'm sure there's others out here in this crowd that I should thank, and I'm not going to take the time and forgive me for that. But these I know because